Chosen one, your soulmate was diagnosed with cancer just 5 minutes ago. Open immediately. God says, my child, listen closely. Before your heart races ahead of my voice, stay with me for this moment. I know the title you have just read feels heavy. I know it shakes something deep inside you. I also know the questions already filling your mind. You are wondering if everything has suddenly changed. You are wondering if the future you quietly hoped for has disappeared. My beloved child, do not allow fear to speak before I do. I am already present in every hospital room, every whispered prayer, every tear that has not yet reached the floor. Nothing has happened outside my knowledge. Nothing has escaped my loving eyes. Even now, while you are listening, I am closer to your soulmate than anyone standing beside them. I have not abandoned them for a single heartbeat. If these words are reaching your heart, receive them with faith instead of panic. If this message speaks to your spirit, gently write Amen in the comments as your quiet prayer that my peace will remain stronger than fear. My child, listen carefully. Just moments ago your soulmate heard words they never expected to hear. The room became strangely quiet. The sound of medical machines seemed louder than before. A paper rested in trembling hands. A doctor spoke gently. Every sentence felt heavier than the last. Your soulmate tried to stay strong, but inside they felt the ground beneath them disappear. They smiled politely because they did not want anyone else to worry. Yet when they looked away, their eyes filled with silent tears. They were not thinking first about themselves. They were thinking about the people they loved. They were thinking about promises left unfinished. And without saying your name aloud, they remembered you. That hidden thought became the beginning of something they never expected me to do. My beloved child, you have often asked why the distance between you became so confusing. You wondered if silence meant love had faded. You questioned whether forgotten prayers had simply disappeared into the night. But I have seen every unanswered question. I have watched every evening when you looked toward heaven without knowing what words to pray. The separation was never proof that I had forgotten either of you. There were wounds inside both hearts that needed healing before either of you could carry the weight of a future together. Now, in this painful moment, something hidden inside your soulmate has begun to awaken. They are no longer distracted by pride. They are no longer hiding behind excuses. They are beginning to see life through different eyes. That change did not begin because of fear alone. It began because my presence entered the room before despair could settle there. My child, listen closely. After the doctor stepped away, your soulmate sat alone for a few quiet minutes. A window nearby allowed warm afternoon light to fall across the floor. Outside, people continued living ordinary lives, unaware that someone inside that room felt as though time had stopped. Your soulmate slowly reached into a small bag and found something they had nearly forgotten. It was a tiny Bible given years ago by someone who believed they would one day return to me with their whole heart. Dust rested along its edges. The pages had become worn with age. When they opened it without choosing a passage, their eyes rested on words about hope, courage, and my constant presence. That moment was not an accident. I was reminding them that even difficult news does not cancel my love. My beloved child, do not misunderstand what I am saying. A diagnosis is serious. It brings uncertainty, questions, and difficult days. It is never something to celebrate. Yet my power is never measured by human circumstances. I remain faithful in hospital corridors just as surely as I remain faithful inside joyful homes. I do not ask you to deny pain. I ask you not to surrender hope. Your soulmate has begun to pray again. Their first prayer was not polished. It was not long. It was only a broken whisper. God, please do not leave me. Before those words fully left their lips, my peace had already begun surrounding them. They could not explain why their breathing slowly became calmer. They could not explain why the fear lost some of its grip. But I was already working where human eyes could not yet see. My child, there is something you still do not know. While your soulmate sat quietly with tears resting on their face, they remembered a conversation from long ago. They remembered someone asking them who truly mattered when everything else disappeared. At that time they answered too quickly. They mentioned careers, plans, achievements, and dreams. Today the answer became different. They realized relationships matter more than achievements. Love matters more than pride. Forgiveness matters more than winning every argument. In that holy moment your name quietly returned to their heart. They wondered whether they had waited too long to make peace with the people they truly loved. That realization became another step in the healing I had already begun. My beloved child, I know hearing these words may stir your own heart with sorrow. You may wonder whether you should carry guilt for things you never said or opportunities you never had. Release those burdens into my hands. I never ask my children to live inside regret. I ask them to live inside faith. Pray instead of worrying. Trust my timing. What feels impossible today is not beyond my wisdom. Even when you cannot stand beside your soulmate, your prayers can travel where your footsteps cannot. Every quiet prayer spoken with love reaches me. None of them disappear into empty air. They become part of the unseen work I continue doing every single day. My child, listen carefully. During the evening, after family members stepped outside for a short while, your soulmate closed their eyes. The hospital room became still. Soft footsteps echoed through the hallway. Somewhere nearby, a chapel bell quietly rang. That gentle sound reminded them of childhood Sundays when faith felt simple. They remembered kneeling beside a wooden pew. They remembered believing without hesitation that I could carry every burden. Tears began falling again, but these tears were different. They were no longer only tears of fear. They were tears of surrender. They quietly said, Lord, if you still have a purpose for my life, help me become the person you wanted me to be. My beloved child, I heard every word. My child, there is another truth waiting beneath the surface. You have spent many nights wondering whether your soulmate ever loved you as deeply as you loved them. The answer is more complicated than you imagined. They loved you, yet they were also fighting fears they never confessed. They feared failure. They feared becoming a burden. They feared losing the people they cherished. Instead of speaking honestly, they built walls around their own heart. Those walls protected them from temporary pain, but they also blocked the love they longed to give. Today those walls have begun to crack. Not because suffering is good, but because my light reaches places that human strength often cannot reach. My beloved child, perhaps you noticed the number 777 recently. Do not treat it as magic or a promise of instant answers. Let it simply remind you to keep your eyes on me. When hope feels fragile, remember that I remain faithful through every season. I am not rushing ahead of your healing, nor am I delaying it without purpose. I know every heartbeat inside this moment. I know every doctor involved. I know every prayer whispered by family members. Most importantly, I know both of your hearts better than either of you know yourselves. That is why I ask you not to measure the future by today's fear. My child, tonight your soulmate will not fall asleep quickly. The room will grow darker. The machines will continue their quiet rhythm. They will think about every unfinished conversation. They will remember every opportunity to love more deeply. Somewhere in those quiet thoughts, your face will appear once again. They will whisper a prayer for you, even if they have not spoken your name for a long time. They will ask me to protect you, bless you, and keep you close to my heart. You do not know that prayer has already begun forming, but I do. I have been preparing this moment long before either of you recognized its importance. My beloved child, before this message pauses, hold tightly to one truth. A frightening diagnosis does not write the final chapter of anyone's life. I alone see the full picture. Continue praying with faith instead of fear. Continue loving instead of assuming the worst. And if this message brings hope to your heart, share it with someone else who needs hope today. There is still something your soulmate has not told anyone. There is one prayer they are almost ready to speak aloud before me, and when that hidden prayer finally leaves their heart, you will understand why I brought you here today. Until then, remain close to me, and keep saying, Amen. My child, listen carefully. The night has become quieter now, but heaven has not become silent. While your soulmate rests beneath dim hospital lights, I am still working in ways that no medical report can fully describe. The nurses move gently through the hallway. Their footsteps come and go. The clock continues its slow rhythm. Yet inside that room something far greater than the passing of time is unfolding. Your soulmate is no longer looking only at test results. They are beginning to look toward me. That change did not happen because fear became stronger. It happened because my love reached them in a place where nothing else could. Even before another doctor enters that room, I have already entered their heart. Remember this, my beloved child. I never wait outside the places where my children suffer. I walk into those places before anyone else arrives. My beloved child, there is something your soulmate has not shared with their family. They have smiled each time someone asked if they were all right. They have quietly said they would stay strong. But after everyone left for a few minutes, they covered their face with both hands and finally allowed themselves to cry. Those tears were not only about illness. They were about lost years. They were about words they wished they had spoken sooner. They were about dreams they believed had slipped away forever. Then your name quietly returned to their thoughts again. They remembered a moment when your kindness reached them during one of the darkest seasons of their life. They remembered how safe they felt around you, even if they never admitted it. They wondered whether they had hidden their feelings for too long. That question has stayed inside their heart ever since. My child, listen closely. You have been asking me why your spirit has felt unusually restless. There were evenings when you suddenly stopped whatever you were doing. You felt the need to pray, yet you did not know for whom. You thought perhaps it was only emotion. You believed it might simply be your imagination. But I was gently inviting your heart into prayer because someone connected to your life needed my peace. I never force my children into fear. I invite them into compassion. The burden you felt was never meant to frighten you. It was meant to remind you that love continues even across silence, distance, and unanswered questions. Every sincere prayer you whispered became part of the comfort surrounding your soulmate tonight. My beloved child, after midnight your soulmate reached for their phone. The screen glowed softly in the darkness. They scrolled through old photographs they had not looked at in months. Some pictures made them smile. Others made them quietly shake their head. Then they paused at one memory connected to you. They stayed there longer than they expected. Their thumb rested on the screen while tears slowly returned. They whispered, "Lord, if I have another chance, help me stop wasting the things that truly matter." Those words were simple. They were honest. I treasure prayers like that because they come from hearts that are no longer pretending to be strong. My child, do not think I am only working inside your soulmate. I am also working inside you. You have carried disappointment for longer than you admit. You learned to protect your own heart because unanswered waiting became exhausting. Sometimes you convinced yourself that moving on would hurt less than continuing to hope. Yet every time you tried to close that chapter completely, my peace gently reminded you not to become bitter. I was teaching you patience while I was teaching your soulmate surrender. Neither lesson was easy. Neither lesson was wasted. The growth happening inside both of you has been taking place at the same time, even though neither of you could see the other's journey. My beloved child, there will soon come a conversation between your soulmate and someone they deeply trust. That person will not offer perfect answers. They will not pretend everything is easy. Instead, they will quietly ask one question. Is there anyone you wish you had spoken to before today? The room will become silent again. Your soulmate will lower their eyes. They will hesitate because pride has not completely disappeared. But love has become stronger than pride. They will think about reaching out. They will wonder whether forgiveness is still possible. They will wonder whether your heart could ever receive what theirs has been unable to say. That question is already beginning to change them. My child, listen carefully. Do not rush ahead of my timing. Human hearts often want immediate answers. They want every ending revealed before taking the next step. But faith grows differently. Faith learns to walk while the path is still unfolding. Right now you cannot see every detail. Neither can your soulmate. Yet I already see tomorrow. I already know each appointment, every difficult conversation, every unexpected encouragement, and every person I will place along the way. What feels uncertain to you is completely visible to me. Rest in that truth. It will protect your heart from unnecessary fear. My beloved child, early tomorrow morning sunlight will slowly enter that hospital room. It will fall across the open Bible resting beside your soulmate. They will wake after only a little sleep. Their body may feel weak, but something inside their spirit will feel different. They will no longer believe they are facing this alone. Peace will not remove every question. It will simply become stronger than panic. That quiet confidence is one of the greatest gifts I give my children. It often arrives softly. Yet once it settles into the heart, it becomes stronger than circumstances. My child, I also want you to understand something important. Illness does not define a person's value. A diagnosis does not erase purpose. Your soulmate is still deeply loved by me. They are still created with dignity. They are still precious in my sight. Even now I am using this painful season to awaken compassion, humility, forgiveness, and faith that had remained hidden beneath years of distraction. What others may only see as a crisis, I also see as an opportunity for hearts to return to what matters most. That does not make the pain easy. It makes hope possible. My beloved child, before this message continues, hold on to one promise. I am already preparing a moment neither of you expects. It will not begin with dramatic words. It will begin with one honest decision made from a healed heart. Your soulmate is closer than ever to speaking a truth they have carried in silence for far too long. Before they speak to anyone else, they will first speak to me. And what they confess during that quiet prayer will begin opening a door that neither fear nor illness has been able to close. Stay with me, because that sacred moment is drawing nearer than either of you realizes. My child, listen carefully. As the morning continues, your soulmate will notice small moments that others might overlook. A nurse will offer a gentle smile. A volunteer will quietly leave a devotional booklet on the bedside table. Someone in the hallway will softly hum a worship song without realizing anyone can hear it. None of these moments will seem extraordinary to the world, yet together they will remind your soulmate that hope often arrives in quiet ways. I rarely shout when I speak to hurting hearts. I whisper. I comfort. I remain present. While fear keeps asking, what happens next? My spirit gently answers, you are not walking through this alone. That truth will begin replacing panic with peace, one heartbeat at a time. My beloved child, your soulmate has spent years believing they had to carry every burden by themselves. They learned to hide pain behind polite smiles. They convinced themselves that asking for help would make them appear weak. But today those walls are beginning to fall. As they sit beside the hospital window, they will finally admit something they have never spoken aloud. They are tired. Not only physically, but emotionally. Tired of pretending. Tired of carrying regrets. Tired of wondering whether they have missed the chance to become the person they truly wanted to be. When those honest thoughts rise to the surface, I will not turn away. I always move closer to hearts that become sincere before me. My child, listen closely. You may wonder why your own heart feels unusually heavy today. Perhaps ordinary things have become difficult to enjoy. Perhaps your mind keeps returning to someone you have not spoken with in a long time. Do not ignore that gentle pull, but do not allow it to become fear either. Bring it to me in prayer. Speak honestly with me. Tell me every concern. Tell me every question. I already know them, yet I delight when my children trust me enough to place them into my hands. Prayer is not informing me of something I have missed. Prayer is allowing your heart to rest where my peace has always been waiting. My beloved child, later that afternoon your soulmate will receive another visit from the doctor. There will be more conversations. There will be explanations about treatments, appointments, and the road ahead. Some words will be difficult to hear. Others will offer encouragement. Yet something inside your soulmate has already begun changing. Yesterday they would have listened with only fear. Today they will listen with faith growing quietly beside that fear. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is choosing to trust me even while your hands still shake. That is exactly what your soulmate is beginning to learn. My child, there is a memory returning to them that they cannot push away. They remember the last meaningful conversation they shared with you. They remember the words they almost spoke before silence took over. They remember walking away while believing there would always be another opportunity. Now they understand how precious every moment truly is. They are not thinking about expensive possessions. They are not thinking about unfinished ambitions. They are thinking about love that deserved honesty. They are thinking about forgiveness that should have been given sooner. Most of all, they are thinking about you. They quietly ask themselves whether your heart could still receive the truth if the chance ever came. My beloved child, do not allow assumptions to become louder than my promises. You cannot see every conversation I am preparing. You cannot see every heart I am softening. You cannot see every obstacle I am already removing. If you could see what I see, you would understand why I have asked you to wait with faith instead of rushing ahead with fear. Even now, while you are listening, unseen pieces are moving into place. What appeared broken forever is slowly being gathered together by my loving hands. Trust my timing. I have never been late. I have never forgotten a promise rooted in my love. My child, listen carefully. During the evening your soulmate will ask for a few moments alone again. The room will become still. They will open the Bible once more and pause at a passage speaking about my presence in the valley of suffering. They will read each sentence slowly. Not because they are searching for perfect answers, but because they are searching for me. Then they will close their eyes and whisper, Lord, if you allow me more time, I want to spend it differently. Help me love better. Help me forgive faster. Help me stop hiding my heart. My beloved child, prayers like these never go unheard. I treasure every sincere word. My beloved child, I also want to prepare your own heart. When difficult news touches someone we care about, we often imagine the worst before the next chapter has even begun. Resist that temptation. Stay close to me instead. Let hope become stronger than imagination. Let faith become stronger than fear. Continue praying. Continue believing. Continue trusting that my love is already present in places you cannot yet reach. There is still a conversation waiting to happen. There is still a truth your soulmate has not spoken aloud to another person. Before those words reach anyone else's ears, they will first be surrendered into my hands. That quiet surrender will become the beginning of a healing neither of you expected, and what follows will reveal why I brought you to this message today. Why, child, listen carefully. There are moments when the human heart discovers what truly matters. Not because every question has been answered, but because my presence becomes greater than every question. Your soulmate sits quietly, watching the first evening light fade beyond the hospital window. The room is calm. The voices in the hallway grow softer. For the first time in many years, they are no longer running from the deepest places of their own heart. They are allowing me to meet them there. That surrender is changing them in ways no one else can yet see. My beloved child, while others speak about schedules, appointments, and tomorrow's plans, your soulmate is thinking about something completely different. They are remembering the people who filled their life with kindness. They are remembering moments they hurried through without realizing how precious they were. They are remembering you. Not with regret alone, but with gratitude. They quietly thank me for allowing your paths to cross, even if the timing was difficult. They finally understand that genuine love is never measured by perfect circumstances. It is measured by a heart willing to care even when life becomes uncertain. My child, listen closely. I know you wish you could fix everything with your own hands. You wish you could remove every burden from the people you love. But some moments invite you to trust instead of control. This is one of those moments. I am asking you to place your fears into my hands one by one. Every anxious thought. Every unanswered question. Every silent tear. Do not carry what I have already invited you to give to me. When you release your worries, you make room for my peace to fill the places fear once occupied. My beloved child, your soulmate begins to notice small blessings they once overlooked. A kind word from a stranger. A warm cup of coffee placed beside the bed. Gentle laughter shared between nurses after a long day. Sunlight resting across an open Bible. These simple gifts remind them that hope has not disappeared. My goodness is often found in quiet places. It is present in ordinary moments that become extraordinary because I am there. Their heart is slowly learning that gratitude can exist even while life remains uncertain. My child, something beautiful is happening inside your soulmate. They are no longer asking only, "Why is this happening?" They are beginning to ask, "Lord, how can I become more like you through this season?" That question marks the beginning of true transformation. It is not born from fear. It is born from trust. As they continue praying, bitterness loses its hold. Pride begins to fade. Forgiveness grows stronger. Compassion becomes deeper. They are becoming the person they once hoped they could be, one quiet prayer at a time. My beloved child, I have also been preparing your own heart. The waiting has taught you patience. The silence has taught you faith. The unanswered days have taught you to depend on me instead of your own understanding. None of those lessons have been wasted. One day you will look back and see that I was shaping both of your hearts long before either of you recognized my work. My timing has never been random. Every season has carried purpose, even when you could not yet understand it. My child, listen carefully. Before this message continues, remember one truth above every other. Human circumstances may change without warning, but my love never changes. My faithfulness never weakens. My mercy never runs out. Keep praying instead of worrying. Keep loving instead of assuming the worst. Keep trusting instead of surrendering to fear. I am already working where you cannot yet see, and in the quiet days ahead I will continue revealing my peace one step at a time. Remain close to me, because what I am shaping within both of your hearts is far more lasting than anything fear could ever take away. My child, listen carefully. As another quiet evening settles in, I want you to notice something your eyes might otherwise miss. Your soulmate is no longer measuring every moment by fear. They are beginning to measure each moment by grace. The gentle sound of rain against the hospital window becomes a reminder that I am still washing away despair. A small wooden cross resting on the bedside table catches the last light of the day. They reach toward it with trembling hands, not because they have every answer, but because they have chosen to place their questions into my hands. That decision does not erase every uncertainty. It simply allows hope to breathe again. My beloved child, there is a prayer your soulmate has repeated several times today. It is not a complicated prayer. It is only a sincere one. Lord, help me become the person you always wanted me to be. Each time they whisper those words, I draw closer. I do not grow tired of hearing honest hearts. I never reject those who seek me with humility. While others only see someone facing a difficult season, I see a child returning to my embrace. That return is precious to me. It is becoming the beginning of a deeper healing inside their spirit. My child, listen closely. I also know the quiet battle taking place inside your own heart. You wonder if love can remain strong when life becomes uncertain. You wonder whether waiting still has meaning. I tell you today that real love is not built only during joyful seasons. It is also strengthened through compassion, patience, and faithful prayer. Continue bringing every concern to me. Continue trusting me with tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. I will never ask you to carry a burden that belongs in my hands. My beloved child, your soulmate has started remembering conversations they once hurried through. They remember every opportunity to encourage someone that they allowed to pass. They remember moments when pride spoke louder than kindness. Those memories no longer fill them with shame alone. Instead, they awaken a desire to live differently. They quietly ask me to help them become more patient, more grateful, and more loving if another opportunity is given. That sincere desire is changing their heart in ways no human eye can measure. My child, as the night grows still, a family member sits beside your soulmate without saying very much. No long speeches are needed. Sometimes love is expressed through quiet presence. A gentle hand rests upon theirs. A silent prayer rises from both hearts. In that peaceful silence, your soulmate realizes they have never truly been alone. They have been surrounded by people who care, and above all, by my constant presence. That realization brings tears once again, but these tears are no longer only tears of sorrow. They become tears of gratitude. My beloved child, I want you to understand that faith is not pretending difficult moments do not exist. Faith is choosing to believe that I remain faithful in the middle of those moments. The path ahead may still contain challenges. There may still be days filled with waiting. Yet my promises remain steady. I will give wisdom for each decision, strength for each morning, and peace for each restless night. You do not need tomorrow's strength today. I will provide it when tomorrow arrives. My child, listen carefully. There will soon come a quiet moment when your soulmate opens a notebook resting beside the bed. They will begin writing words they have carried inside for a long time. Some pages will contain prayers. Some will hold gratitude. Others will express love that remained unspoken for too many years. Your name will appear more than once. Not because they are trapped in the past, but because they finally understand the value of honesty. They no longer want fear to decide what remains unsaid. They want truth to guide every step that follows. My beloved child, do not allow your imagination to write endings that I have not written. Stay close to me. Keep your heart open. Keep praying instead of worrying. Every act of compassion, every whispered prayer, and every moment of trust is becoming part of something beautiful that is still unfolding. I am preparing both of your hearts with wisdom, gentleness, and grace. Continue walking with me, because the next quiet conversation your soulmate has with me will reveal a truth that has been hidden for far longer than either of you realizes. My child, listen carefully. Before this message comes to its close, I want your heart to hear mine above every other voice. Do not leave with fear. Leave with faith. Do not leave believing that suffering has the final word. Leave knowing that my love never stops working, even in the hardest seasons of life. Your soulmate has discovered something precious through this difficult chapter. They have learned that life is not measured by how many plans are completed, but by how deeply love is given. They have learned that forgiveness cannot be postponed forever. They have learned that every sunrise is a gift and every prayer matters. Most of all, they have learned that I never abandoned them, even when the road became uncertain. My beloved child, I have also been shaping your heart. Every tear you cried, every lonely night you endured, every prayer you whispered when no one else could hear has been precious to me. I have never ignored your pain. I have never forgotten your hope. Even when you believed heaven was silent, I was already preparing peace that you could not yet understand. I have been teaching both of you that true love grows stronger when it is rooted in grace, humility, and trust instead of fear. My child, remember this truth for the days ahead. Human circumstances may change without warning, but my character never changes. I remain faithful. I remain merciful. I remain near to those who call upon me with sincere hearts. Whether the path ahead feels easy or difficult, my presence will go before you. When you cannot see the next step, I will be your light. When your strength feels small, my strength will be enough. When questions remain unanswered, my peace will guard your heart until understanding comes. My beloved child, if this message has touched your spirit today, do not allow it to end as only words you heard. Let it become a prayer you live. Pray for those who are hurting. Encourage those who feel alone. Forgive where forgiveness is needed. Love while you still have the opportunity. Speak kind words before tomorrow arrives. Life is too precious to leave love unspoken. If you know someone who needs hope today, share this message with them. Sometimes one gentle reminder of my faithfulness is enough to help a weary heart keep believing. And now, my child, place your future into my hands. Place your soulmate into my hands. Place every fear, every unanswered question, and every hidden burden into my hands. I am already working where you cannot yet see. I will never stop walking beside those who trust me. Go forward with peace. Go forward with hope. Go forward knowing that my love is greater than your fears, my grace is stronger than your weakness, and my presence will never leave you. If this prayer has spoken to your heart, quietly type Amen, and carry my peace with you today.